Josh from Multiversity here with Jeff Lemire. How's your weekend going?
It's going great, thanks.
It's good. I guess the big buzz topic that we could address is now that in the wake of DC's price realignment, what's the future of you and Ray Palmer?
Well, I had already written most of the story, so it was going to be a 10-part co-feature, but now I think the co-feature is going to end in January or December, so that'll be chapter 7 of the 10-part thing, and then we're going to continue and finish the story either in a one-shot coming early next year, which will be like a double-sized thing, which will have the whole sort of last half of that story in it, or there's some talk about an Atom ongoing as well. Maybe it'll just start right into that. So one of those two things is going to happen, and either way, the story is going to be finished as planned. So, and if anything, it might actually get some extra pages out of it to work with, which is nice. So.
What value do you see Ray Palmer? What value do you attribute to Ray Palmer within the grand scheme of the DC universe?
I think he's great. I think Ray Palmer is a really unique character in the DC universe in that he has a perspective on things that no other superhero has. Just the fact that he can shrink down to such small sizes, it allows him to see the world in a way no other hero and no other character can. Like, the most mundane thing to us or to another superhero is like a world of wonder to Ray Palmer, you know what I mean? And he brings that perspective, and he also brings, in a lot of ways, I hate to make a Marvel comparison, but he could, if written properly, he could become the same stature as like a Reed Richards or something. You know, he is the science superhero of the DC universe, and I think if that were explored more and expanded upon, he could really become a key character in a lot of what's going on in DC, sort of like their go-to guy when there's a science problem, you know what I mean? And so I think it's really cool, and I think there's a lot left to do with him.
Moving into Superboy, you mentioned multiple times that you're going to be focusing not only on the character of Connor Kent and the Phantom Stranger, but also Smallville as almost its own entity. Based on your past experience both with Essex County and with the Nobody, are you bringing any of that into Superboy with you?
Oh, definitely. I mean, to me, Superboy is just like a natural extension of a lot of the themes I was doing with Essex County. You know, it's about family, it's about community. You know, and where in Essex County I kind of filtered that through like the metaphor of like hockey and Canadiana and things. Now I'm just filtering it through superheroics, you know what I mean? So really it really is just an extension of those things, and it feels like almost like going back and just continuing a lot of the stuff I was doing. So, and then there's this other side of the book, which is sort of the weird science aspects of Connor Kent's origin with the cloning and stuff, and that kind of ties in a lot to what I'm doing in Sweet Tooth. So it really is like a cross of everything I've ever done, all kind of happening at once, and it's been awesome to work on that book. So,
what can fans be expecting from moving into, since you mentioned Sweet Tooth, what can people be expecting? Is there a definite end to that story, and how much longer can we expect to see Sweet Tooth stories?
Definite end. I've known the ending since I started, you know what I mean? It's been very clear, and it's always about getting to that point. Right now I have things pretty tightly plotted out, actually, and the series looks like it's going to be anywhere between 40 and 50 issues long, and luckily sales have been good enough that I think I'm going to be able to tell that whole saga. So right now we're kind of closing in the midway point of the third arc, and that's going to sort of culminate in a big climax. Sort of everything I've been doing in the first year and a half of that book is all going to kind of come to a head, and then after that, we'll kind of move to a new status quo for the book, which starts to build towards the next sort of half of the big saga that I'm planning. So, yeah, it's an exciting time to be writing the book, for sure. To see all these things I had planned years ago kind of happening now on the page is fun. Yeah.
You're also working on another book for Top Shelf, and I'm blanking on what that one's called.
The Underwater Welder.
Yeah. What can you tell us about that?
I can't tell you much yet, just because it's still a little bit off. I mean, it's a project, unfortunately, that I have to sort of squeeze in here and there between all my DC commitments. So I'm doing 5 or 10 pages a month or something when I find time. So it's going slowly, but it is going really well. And the good thing about taking so much time on something is I can really put a lot of thought into it, before, and it's coming out really nicely, and I think it'll be like a 2012 release. And it's for people who like Essex County and that kind of work that I've done. I think they'll be really happy with it. So.
All right. Well, thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you.